So you have to go on the drive. Y entraste antes. Entonces, bueno, segundo. Aquí está. Si ya la viste, están share with me.
Partidos conmigo.
So once you're on the drive, there is a folder named QGIS Pro because you're not professional, and you have two zip files. You can download them, right?
QGIS Pro.
Yeah. So download the two zip files that are inside the QGIS Pro folder. I repeat, download the two zip files that are inside the QGIS Pro folder. So once you download it, you can unzip it and load it into QGIS. You have two zip files, you have to download them. Then, so you can have a look at what you have. In fact, you have these two folders with some shapefiles. You can load them into QGIS and start seeing what you have. You can visualize into the maps. You can have a look into the tables to see what kind of information we have, what we are talking about. Now you're able, I think, to load information. Yes. I didn't mention last time, but in QGIS, so we just start the project. You can load by using this icon. You have the data source manager here to load vector information, for example. But you can also drag and drop directly from your file folder. For example, here I want to load bâtiment shape. So in this case, you have to click on the shape file. If I just drag and drop like this, it works, right? So you can load all the data. And you have to find where we are, in fact, in which area we are. Because maybe you saw on the folder name, it's written 30 mou. Who knows what is 30 mou? Nobody knows what is 30 mou.
And on the other side of the letter,
yes,
the color.
Exactly. You have to, if you don't know Trotmou, you have to go to Trotmou next weekend, for example. You can just take the boat and it's a very small village. Yeah, it used to be for fishermen, but now there is no more fishermen. But it's very nice. It's a very small neighborhood with a very narrow streets, and buildings are painted in many different colors. It's very nice. I actually went there with her, but I don't know what's what. Okay, okay.
Is it in Nat? Is it in Nat?
Yeah, it's in not. It's in fact, yeah. If you are lost, you don't know where we are. So what we can do here, we can just load the WMS of OpenStreetMap, for example, and we are here. And if you take there is what we call the Navibus here. If you go, you have the line 1 from the tram. Here you have Gare Maritime, and then you can take the Navibus and you arrive at Portsmouth.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And
yeah.
during the weekend, it's free. You can.
Yeah, I know this.
So I just click here on XYZ times and double click on
Have you been
OpenStreetMap.
there? Sorry, have you been there?
Yeah, that's it. Love to.
Options for the files,
It's nice.
only the shape files we need to drop. Or
Yes, all the shapefiles. So if you don't remember how we can do it, so I will just. So here you have this icon, Open Data Source Manager. Then in the Vector tab, you will just search here. So I will go. Where is it? So you have here all your files, and you can filter to keep to have only shape files. So instead of all files, we will just choose S3 shape files. Okay? S3 shape files. It's not mandatory, but it's just a way to filter. So S3 shape files, and then you have these different layers, all of them. And then click on add. So you can see that we have different layers. So you can change the color to have something which is easy to understand what we are talking about. For example, I have surface hydrographic. You know what is it? Surface hydrographic? Yes, it's water area. So maybe it will be better to display it in blue, let's say in blue. So take time to adapt your project, change the color, change the order of your layers. For example, for me to be after, so surface hydrographic. So if you want to change the color, if you remember, you can go in the property of the layer. So make a right click, property, and then in symbology, you have here the possibility to adapt the color, for example. And let's say, for example, I don't want any border. Then you can do the same with the vegetation, zone de vegetation. If you want, I didn't mention, but on the WMS layer, like here, OpenStreetMap, you can add transparency, for example. So to do so, you just have to go in the property and in transparency. So let's say, for example, switch button, turn on. in mind that you can also save your project, that if QGIS crash, you will be able to retrieve all your work done. So I will save it.
You're in French, so you will not see anything. You have to now. Okay. No, you shouldn't have to look down. You have to turn on. That's for we finish them in for different time.
Okay, so you should have something like this, for example. Okay. So now, the idea of this course is that I prepared many different questions that will be harder and harder. It's just to make you session. Okay, so my first question is how many buildings we have here?
We go to the, but we can go to.
How many buildings we have? Simple question. Yeah.
We have like 1,247.
Yes. So this is a good answer, but now how do you find this?
It's in the attributes. In the attributes.
Yeah, it can be in the attribute table, for example. So to know it, you just have to go on the bâtiment layer, buildings, and if you go here in the open attributes, we can see that we have 100, 1,200 buildings, right?
Also, I found it in the information.
Yes. So if you make a right click, you're right. If you make a right click here, and you click on show feature code, you have directly the answer, right? Perfect. Now I want you to select and count industrial buildings. I want you to select and count the industrial buildings. So you have to find a way to select industrial buildings. I don't give you more details, you have to find a way.
Okay. Show feature solo me sale
We have to.
We have 87. 87. Was it?
Where did you? Like, how did you? Okay, it's from here, but I can't see it.
So if you are lost, maybe you can have a look to the attribute table in which maybe you will find information that will be useful to filter the buildings.
How did you do it?
So if we go to the table, we have some information, especially ah,
We could not. I could not find the search option where we can write the.
so it's here,
Yeah.
and you have so here since it's a very simple query, you can get just to field filter.
Okay, from here. Okay.
And then you point the column that we will use to make the research. So in our case, which column will be used? Usage.
Yeah, usage.
So, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
So usage 1, and then we just have to enter industry. And you can see that in fact is helping us because we already see the value here. And then press OK. And we have
87.
87. So, for example, we can save this result into a new table. Let's say it will be useful. I don't know, I don't remember, but let's say it will be useful for our project to have this information saved in a specific layer. So we will just select them. So just select like this. So we have our 87 buildings that are selected. So I just selected by clicking from 1 to the last one, pressing shift. And then if I make a right click on bâtiment layer, right click, I have export, and I can save selected features as. So I repeat, I just selected the objects that are in fact industrial buildings. Then make a right click on bâtiment layer. I thought you were leaving. Okay. And save selected features. So if you click here, so you can specify the file format you want. So let's say we want to let S3 shapefile. You will point where you want to save your file. So for me, it will be, and it will be bat indus, for example. So it will be saved in bat indus shape file. And then just press OK. And you can see that you have now the new layer bat indus, which is saved. Okay, so it's a very nice and easy way to filter and extract information. Let's say you have a huge data set about buildings, but for your project, you're just focusing on a specific type of buildings. So you make your query, you filter, then you save the query, the result of the query on a new table, and then you're only working on this new table. Right?
What is the type of file that we are saving?
Here in my case, I choose shapefile, but you can use what you want. It can be Jew package or the one you want. But here in my case, it was shapefile. All right. Now I want you to select and count buildings that are both industrial and commercial. So instead of having one constraint, we have two now. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't have it. Okay.
Okay, so 110 commercial.
Industrial, I think. Must be lesser, no?
110 plus 87. 97? 197?
So we are working with the layer bâtiment still. So if I go back on the table, so you can unselect everything because here the industrial building were still selected. So we have information in usage one, and also we should have information in yeah. We have here information.
Yeah. Users too.
So we have two columns, usage one and usage two, in which we have the values we are searching. So how we can make a query with a filter on two different columns? You have to use the advanced filter, which is here advanced filter expression. So you just have to click here and then choose advanced filter. And then you have to write the query to filter using this two column and with the two values. Right, so when you click here, you have this. And if you remember, you can use the search engine to help you. So for example, I want, so what will be the first constraint?
Industrial for users one.
Yeah, so you can enter usage, for example. You can see that here you have the first column usage one. So you just make double click and then you can say equal. And one funny thing is here, if you click on all unique, you will have all the values that are inside this column. So it's very useful because you avoid typo, for example. It's very common problem. You have a typo and you have no results, for example, because you forgot that there was a S, for example, at the end of your word, right? So here, I will just make a double click on industrial. Okay. Then you can type, of course. And yes. So the second query will be, the constraint will be usage 2. So once again, I can click all unique and commercial equal. You can also write highlight. There is different operators to compare string chain. So it should be okay now. And you have 26 buildings that are both industrial and commercial and services.
Professor, there is some error showing expression is invalid. Here.
User it's usage 2 for commercial and services, not 1. And
No, it's usage one for
Yeah, but
industrial and usage two for commercial.
yeah, but you have an error because your expression is invalid because you see here you have in fact you wrote
Two times.
you have three conditions. The first one,
Hmm.
in fact, you can remove from there to there.
Like this one.
No, like this. Ah, well, it's okay. We don't care. It will be this, and here it was in this, for usage one. It was can say industrial. This way it's okay.
Yeah, now it's okay.
Yeah, 26.
Thank you.
All right. Because you switch. All right. It's working for everybody. Okay, so just keep in mind if you have a very simple query on only one column, you can use the field filter. But if you have a more complex query using, for example, two or more columns or operators, something like this, you just have to open this advanced filter expression panel where you will be able to build your query. And using the search engine, you will find the column or the operator you want. And it's very useful and it avoids you to make some typo. All right. Now I want you to generate a 10-meter buffer around roads. So if you remember what is a buffer area, do you remember?
Yeah, we made a
It's like
line
we
and
inflate geometry. Or the example was we have the river and we were talking about the flood area. Yeah. So you have the roads and you have to generate a 10-meter right buffer around the roads. So there is a specific menu for that. I let you search.
this is on for the route
Like,
they would like to do.
you mean there is also commercial and services for usage one? Okay. Yeah, but in this case, my question was just to keep both. But if you are using commercial and services from just yeah, for example, here in usage two, there is no industrial. So if you are only using usage one, it means that you will have buildings that are industrial or commercial. While I ask to have both, so it has to be in the same time industrial and also commercial. You understand? So if you are only using this in usage one column, it doesn't work because it has to be this one or this one. You understand? So you just have to remove this, and this way it's okay. This one 26 will so I give you some tips. So it will be here in the vector part. In the vector part, you will have a menu dedicated to buffer area.
But just before, when we computed the area of buildings, we created on the fly the column. So just to show you that it works in both cases. So
900.
you try with PDF too. So you can see that it's quite easy to export your map.
There's
Then
some
if you want to insert
I don't
your
understand.
presentation or your pictures or what you want.
I have less, but maybe I'm wrong.
I'm not. I am not. Philip, please help me with the logo. But for more than from the internet, we just I copied the image address. Yes.
Okay.
Copy image. Okay. But when I do it, the paste it's not pasting it. Even I think
Okay,
it's
so
not
now
for the
there
others
is
as well.
just just 20 minutes remaining. So I'm just searching what I not because I prepared many of those things, but I will have to cut. Okay, so we can leave it. Leave this.
So it's okay at least with the buffer area.
Okay, so
Yes, the buffer area.
maybe
So
the best way is you to introduce. Yeah, I think I will do this. I'm sorry, I have to adapt. So we take more time on QGIS, but in fact it's quite necessary, so there is no problem. I wanted, before talking about especially the vector menu here where you have different tools,
And then
I wanted to introduce some things about what we call spatial analysis. So what I will do, in fact, I will show you some slides of this course. I will give you the course. Most of the course will be for your own culture. Okay, so you can read it if you want. If you don't want to read it, no problem. But it's just a support for me to
okay, so you should have your buffer area.
Luis Fabian, the guy who is in charge of
and then
data science.
The question is,
so
what are the buildings that are
no exam
more than 5 meters far from the road?
It makes no sense to make an
So
evaluation of any friends.
we have here in vector,
So
we have
why I'm thinking to that.
intersection.
For you.
It's not intersection will compute the intersection between the two objects. I don't want to compute the intersection between buildings and the buffer area. I just want to count and select buildings that intersect. Okay, so I just want to check, in fact, if they intersect. So in research tools, in research tools, I have select by location. Okay, so vector, research tools, select by location. Right? There, so I can select features from buildings, so bâtiment. Then I can choose the operator, the predicates that will be used to determine the relationship between the two layers. So it can be intersect, it can be contain, disjoint, and so on. So I will let intersect. And I will compare with my layer, road buffer 5 meter. So the buffer you just created before. Right? So I will just run. And I can see it here in yellow, all the buildings that intersect the buffer area. So it means that this is all the buildings that are less than 5 meters from the road. Right? But I say I want to have the buildings that are more than 5 meters. So what I can do is go in the table of buildings. So here you can see they are selected, and what I will do, in fact, is just revert the selection. You understand? So to revert, I just have to click here, invert the selection. Okay, for example, here I identify all the buffer, and this way I have all the buildings that do not intersect the buffer area. So it means that they are yes, they are furthest from 5 meters from the road. Okay, so we can stop. Okay.
I have another number.
I will upload. You have a lot of number.
Another.
Okay.
783.
Okay, maybe one point is, in fact, if you don't have the same, I am pretty sure that it comes from the buffer step. If you, let's say, if you have your buffer area with, I will do it again to show you. So, for example, here, so around roads, also roads. So you have a lot of different buffer. In fact, you have one buffer per piece of road. And I will just add some transparency. Okay, so when you become, in fact, the buildings that intersect the buffer area, for example, this one will be counted twice because it will be selected for this one, but also for this one, right? So you may have some problem because you will count or select unnecessary objects. So that's why it's preferable to merge, in fact, the geometries to have only one. And this way it should be okay. I'm on Linux and it works well. But if you prefer, you can also save the image and then you can just click add image. And for example here, and you will just have to point where is the image. So you have in yellow the one who do not intersect, in fact, the buffer area. It's okay? Right? Yeah. That's it. Okay, so now I want, it's more or less the same, but I'm just increasing a bit the exercise. Select buildings that are less than 500 meters far from electric lines.
Merci.
You're welcome. See you. So the buildings that are less than 500 meters from electric lines. Maybe you should wait because maybe you open it too early. You have to wait. He finished to produce the PDF maybe.
Professor, I was looking for the WGS, but it's always with something. It's not the one you use. They just
Yes, in fact, the default one is 4326.
43?
43
43.
26 and remove the WGS. Just enter 4326.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
this
this
one.
one. Okay.
Yeah, this is the default one, in fact.
Okay, and I was going to print
Yeah.
but I had some issue. I forgot to here was the option.
So new print layout.
Okay.
So just give a name, tato tata, what you want.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then, so you add the map. So click and draw a rectangle.
Yes.
Then you can add text, you can add legend.
Text, I had an issue in increasing the size of it because I tried and it's completely vanished.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to scroll on the top.
Yeah, okay, I did that, but then it finished somewhere. I think it's just moving it.
Here, yeah, but if you go, what do you want to do? You want to
I want to increase the size
So
of
you
it,
just click
like,
on, no, go down.
like a map, let's suppose.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and click on font.
Font. Okay.
And then if you scroll, you can, so you have the text size here.
Oh, okay, it's here. Okay, I was looking for it.
Yeah,
Okay.
but their menu are a bit strange. Some even me sometimes I'm lost in their menu.
And I was going to they pasted the photo, but I could not do that. Like, let's suppose this is the photo. I copy the image, and when I
So
tried this, so it was online classes, and
where we have the
yeah,
information
but
about
I completely
electric
relied
lines.
on YouTube.
It's in the
I really
layers?
enjoyed it.
Electric. Okay.
I like using this.
So I will just. But I also made some course online. So we have the linear electric that are here. Okay. So we can do the same with buffer, but there is also another option that I will show you. So if you go here in vector, PV. Okay, no. In fact, we will use what QGIS called geoprocessing toolbox. So the geoprocessing toolbox it is here. You have this icon here, toolbox. So here you have in fact a lot of operator, a lot of functions that can be used. And if you search to in the search engine, if you enter selection with it should be this one. I don't have the same, but it's a problem of pronunciation, but it should be this one. Select within distance. So if you make a double click, you have a new panel that opens. Donc, we want to select entities, features from bâtiment by comparing with electric lines and where the features are within, we say 500 meters. Yes, you have to go, you have to click here on this icon. Then you have to, you search selection with, and you will find within distance, selection within distance. Then you first have to select the layer bâtiment. So you have to double click to open the layer. Then you will compare with electric line, ligne électrique, and then you enter 500 meters. And once done, you press run, and you have your results. So we didn't use the same approach as previously with the buffer, but in fact the result is the same, right? So we only keep the yellow one here, the buildings that are less than 500 meters from electric lines. Okay? Okay, now a bit more complex. You have this question. So, undifferentiate in French, it's indifférencié. Indifférencié. In fact, it means that there is no specific usage for the building.
No, I am not able to see the electric line.
Just because I'm here.
Yeah,
you have the
yeah,
result.
yeah, problem is solved.
So to answer this question, it means that you have to go inside the data to have a look at what we have.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Professor, are you talking about these electric lines?
Yes.
Okay.
If you look at the table, for example.
No,
No,
which
you have to select first. Where is it? It's
they?
yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it's right click, open attributable, or it's the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And then maybe you have information.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So. Okay.
You need to create a new group with the 63 volt, you will
So you have to divide the exercise in different steps and use the result of each different steps in these other steps. We come.
Careful.
Yeah. So you can do it once you selected yes, you can. If you want to save, you can make a right click. You can export and save selected pictures. And this way you can save Where is your selection? Where did you make the selection? It's okay. You filtered in fact the indifference. Okay. In fact, you can see that they are here. So this is the one you selected. What you did, you filtered the undifferentiated buildings.
Undifferentiated building. Nabin, what have you done with the undifferentiated building?
I thought that they found like
Yes.
but I don't know if that is
I just selected like the lines which are 63 kV that are 11.
yeah, I want you to filter this level like but
It's
I don't think the building maybe I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh.
So you can choose to export the result into a specific table. So this way, you just have to make a right click on the layer liquid lines, make a right click, and export, and save selected features. In this case, we will only save the selected one. So you have to find a way to filter the electric lines that are 63 kilovolts. Then at the same time, you have to find a way to filter buildings that are undifferentiated. So undifferentiated.
Undifferential involves like because we have a nature and such undifferential. Like it must be just one
You have to use the column nature.
nature, yeah.
Nature, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
En fait, je crois qu'on a tous les bâtiments. Et là, tu vois, c'est des bâtiments indifférents.
Oui.
Indifférencié.
C'est
C'est un type de bâtiment. Oui. En fait, c'est pas moi, hein, c'est l'hygiène qui appelle ça comme ça. En fait, typiquement, c'est là où tu vas retrouver notamment les logements, en fait. En fait, ils font indifférencier, c'est tout ce qui n'est pas commercial, industriel, etc., etc. Donc, en fait, c'est ce qui reste pour les habitants, en fait, en général. Voilà.
Ok.
I didn't touch, so I don't know. But we will see. We will see. So, so if we look at the electric lines table, we have voltage here, right? And we can see that there is only 3 lines that are 63 kilovolts, right? So you can do carry if you want, but here in this case, since I just sort the column, it's clear that we only have 3 values, so no need to make a carry. And you can just select these 3 lines. If you prefer, you can save it into a specific table. So in this case, you just have to make a right click on Line Electric, export, and save selected features as. So I will save it, let's say, line 16.
Can you please repeat this step, the export? How did you?
In fact, I just opened the tab at the very
Okay.
line.
Yes.
Then I just click on voltage to sort.
Yeah.
And we clearly see that there is only 3 lines. So I just selected here like
Okay.
this.
Okay.
And then go back here, ligne électrique.
Okay.
Sorry. Export.
Okay.
Save selected features as.
Okay.
Then you can just see name line, for example. I just give the name you want. And this way, you have your table, which is here, with okay, then you have to do the same with the buildings. So we say that in the table bâtiment, we should have information about indifférencié. So it's in nature column. We see here. So we can use the field filter. So nature. And then we just have to start writing, and it's written here, indifférencié. So we have 1033 buildings that are indifférenciés.
1,000.
So I just selected here in field filter, I just click on nature, the second one, and then I just wrote indifférencié. Press enter. So clearly you can see this is where people are living. The rest is more, here we have, for example, we have, here we have Leclerc, for example. Here we have Leroy Merlin, this kind of huge commercial area or industrial. So the yellow one, this is where people are living, right? So once now we selected bâtiment indifférencié and the lines, we can go in vector research tool, search, select by location. Yeah, you have to. I was searching because you have the possibility to use the selection which is temporary here, but it will be on the 63 kV, donc ça ne va pas le faire. Donc first we have to export, save the result of bâtiment indifférencié. So we have to save it, the selection into a specific table. So make a right click, export, save selected features add, and we will say bâti indiff, for example. So I just save the selection here into specific table so that I will be able to call it into the menu when I will filter the information. So once you make your query into the table, you can save into a specific table so that here we have now only the indifferentiated buildings. And then, so if I go back here in vector, research tool, select by location, I will choose Bati and if, which intersects line 63 kV. Non, en fait, je dis n'importe quoi. Non, excusez-moi, je suis. Non, sorry. Qu'est-ce qu'il raconte? En fait, non, on a oublié de faire le buffer sur les lignes 63 kV, donc ça marche pas. Il faut. Non, this my bad. We have to go here, extract by location. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Extract by location. Attends, qui est tellement. Non, toujours pas. Je me suis encore trompé. C'est celui qu'on avait fait tout à l'heure. Within this c'est soit il y a deux seuls.
How here when I said it shows
around the
window
line,
in 247 instead
or
of the I don't know
select within distance.
why. We have to select usage
I'm
one
sorry
or
for
the
the
nature.
confusion.
You can use both, but use nature. Nature is
So if you
Nature.
created a buffer around the line,
And the
you can
difference,
choose
right?
select by location. In fact, you will choose select the buildings indifferentiate that intersect the
But then we
buffer
have to
area
create
around your
something.
electric
Yeah.
line.
How to do that?
If you didn't create a buffer area around the line, you can use select
And then
within
you can-
distance. The result will be the same. So in this case, I will just select features from Bati and Diff, comparing to line 63 kV, and the distance will be 1,000 meter. Because I said 1 kilometer from. And we should have only 40 buildings. We have 40 buildings. We should have 40 buildings, right?
We have to select by location or distance, within distance.
If if you didn't make the buffer area around the line, you can choose select within distance.
Okay.
But if you made the buffer, you just have to choose select by location because you will just check if the buildings intersect your buffer area.
Okay.
Okay?
And Professor? Here we have to compare it with what?
So you are selecting feature compared to the line 63 kV. Yeah, and 1,000. Just one. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Run.
run. Yeah. Close. And then you should, if you open the table Bati and if. No, the other one, Bati and if. This is where you filtered the.
Okay.
Oh.
Why it's showing one?
But in Bati and if you didn't filter the. I think you missed one step here. It should be so we can remove this one. You can remove it. It's here. I think you missed something. So you only have you filtered everything. So here you have
Yeah, I did that because
maybe you so this
interference, yeah.
and there.
Okay, 103, yeah, and then we have to.
Yeah, but in fact, it's still this is something which is weird in QGIS. It's still you still selected everything.
Okay, so
So
first I
you have to unselect, and then click here,
Okay,
and then scroll.
okay,
Yes,
got
and then export, save as. You can
Okay.
erase. Just it's just click here, and but yeah, diff. You can
Okay,
yes. Okay,
okay, got it.
overwrite.
Okay, fine, great.
Okay, so now just do it again. Yes.
Mm,
So Bantien diff, okay, line 63, 1000.
3,000 and one.
Okay, close. Open the table now. Only 40.
40 selected. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Now, we maybe you saw that we have some buildings that are in contact here in the center of Francoux. So we would like to find a way to merge these buildings that are in contact. Okay, so we have these buildings. We want, for those who are in contact, we want to merge them to have only, let's say, the footprint of the building area, for example. Right? So you have to find a way. So it's still in vector here. And it will be in geoprocessing tools. You have the icons that may help you to understand what the function is doing. The small illustrations.
And dissolve.
Yeah. So it will be dissolve. So we click on dissolve. And we will click on bâtiment or bâtir if it's more or less the same. But just to show you, bâtiment. And we will click on keep this joint feature separate. Because if you don't do this, you will have only one huge geometry. Okay, while we want to only have the piece of geometry of that building that are in contact, but for the rest, we want to have separated lines. So we will just click here and run. And you can see that we have this, so you can see the difference. That can we just is it working?
Yes.
Yes. So it can be useful when you want to determine the footprint area of a piece of objects like this, like buildings. All right. Now I want you to calculate the flight distance between from buildings, every buildings, to electric transformer station. So I repeat, and I will write it. It will be more easy for you. So maybe we can have a look at the layers that we have. So we have the buildings, we know the buildings. What do we have after that? We have a layer named post-transformation. So in pink here, we have post the transformation. So this is the electric transformer station. Right? So now the idea is to compute the distance between each buildings and this pink building. So to do so, we will, so the question is, what kind of distance? Is it from the nearest point of each buildings or the center of the buildings? So for this exercise, just to illustrate, this exercise are just a way to show you the different possibility of the application. So here in this case, we will use this what we call the centroid of the geometry. You know centroid? Yes. You know the gravity center?
Yes.
And centroid is not the same, right? Okay. So we will use the centroid of the buildings. So to do so, we have a function here in vector. We have geometry tools and we have centroids. Okay. So if I click here and I will click on buildings. So of course I will create centroids for each part. So I mean one centroid per building. run. So I have this now. So you have one centroid per building, right? So you can rename the layer. If you go in the property, let's say buildings, centroid buildings. Then we will do the same for the post-transformation. So again, vector, geometry tool, centroid for post-transformation. Run. So we have so the centroid. So you will rename it again. Rename here. So centroid transform. Okay, so we have one point against many points. Okay, now we want to determine, in fact, I say the flight distance. So this is a straight line between the transformateur and every centroid of buildings, right? So to do so, in the processing toolbox, we will just search for shortest line between entities. The shortest yeah, shortest line between features. Okay, so if I click here, so the source layer will be the centroid of the buildings. The destination will be centroid transfer. And run. So you have something like this. Okay, so we are, for each centroid of the building, we are going to the centroid of the transformation section. Okay, now if you look at the table of this table, at this new table, shortest line, so you have the information about the buildings, and at the end, you have a new column called distance. Okay, so in fact, you have the distance for each of this line, and now the idea is to find which building is the fastest for the station. So which one is the fastest? We just have to sort this column. And we see this one.
Yeah, industrial.
Which is it's not so simple to see, but in fact it's here. So this is the fastest one from the electric station, right? So I just click here on distance so that the column will be sorted, and then I can find the longest distance in fact. All right. Okay. Another question.
If we select that row, then it will highlight us on the map, or
yes, if you select, yeah, if you click here, it should be highlighted in yellow, and you have to zoom in to see it, because if you don't zoom in, you don't see it, because there are too many lines.
Okay.
When you zoom in, you see it here.
Okay.
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 Okay, now I want to compute the shortest road distance. I will write it. Will be more easy for you. Road distance from buildings, so all buildings, to Chaufferie de la Californie. Chaufferie, so this is a building which is in charge of producing heat for buildings. I guess you see this kind of infrastructure in your campus. C'est un bâtiment qui est en charge de produire, c'est pour le réseau de chaleur urbain. Urban heat.
District heating.
Okay, voilà. So in the north area there is a few buildings like this. There is one in Malakoff, I think, and there is one in Chaufferie de la Californie, which is in this area. So maybe you will find a way to see where is it. So if you go on QGIS, so one of these buildings is Chaufferie de la Californie, but you have to find a way to see where is it. So I just give you again the text. Chaufferie de la Californie. So if you are used to manipulate internet, maybe you can search and find on the map where is it. For example, if you go on Google Maps, I don't know. If you go on Google Maps, you search Chaufferie de la Californie. Pardon? Ah, c'est un truc public, je pense. Hein. Ouais. So, for example, if you go on Google Maps and you search Chaufferie de la Californie, which is in Rosé, it's far from IMT, yeah, but it's in the middle of our study area. So we have the building is here. This is this one, just next to KFC.
Yes.
This is how they burn the chicken. So you can recognize the area of Trente-Mou, the neighborhood, and so it's just here. So if you look at the roads and things like this, you may recognize the building, which is in fact here. Okay? So we are here, the main road, Route de Fornic, and then here, Rue de la Californie. So the building is here. So then we will just create a point on this building. So for example, we can create yes, we can create a temporary layer. So if you go to layer, create layer, and I think we can do this new temporary scratch layer. and let's say California for example. The type of geometry will be point. And then we'll open the edition and just create a point. Let's say to be here. So I just created layer, create layer, new temporary scratch layer. I name it California, for example, and the type of geometry is point. Okay. In fact, it's not necessary.
But Professor, it was already the centroid building.
Yeah,
It already.
in fact, yeah, you can create, but in fact, it's not necessary because you will be able to click after that. So yeah, don't we will skip just this step of creating the point, and we will go in the geoprocessing in the processing toolbox here, and we will search shortest path. Right, shortest path, and we click on from layer to point. This one. Shortest path, layer to point.
Okay.
Then, so the vector layer representing the network will be tronçon de route. We will, the calculation will be on the shortest path. Vector layer with start point, so it will be the centroid of the buildings. And the end point, we will just click here and we will point the Chaufferie de la Californie. So here, just click here, Chaufferie de la Californie.
We have to run afterwards also.
Yes, but I lost my interface. Ah, it's here. So that you get the coordinates and then run. So now you should have the shortest path, which is in yellow, from each building to this point of Chaufferie la Californie. And if you look at the table, shortest path, you can see the cost. In fact, this is the distance. So the distance to reach the point, in fact, the end point from each building. And once again, you can do the same sort to find where is the building which has the highest cost, in fact. Which one is it? Where is it? I don't see it. Come on. I'm a bit lost. I don't know where is it. If you see the building. Oh yeah, okay. This is the line here, and this is to reach the first transformation. So here you have the longest path, in fact, using the road method. All right. I think you are tired.
I couldn't.
I think we can stop now. If you want, because yeah, it's more than the time. There were only two small other exercise, but I will give you the. I have in fact a document like this with the question and the way to get the solution. So I will upload. If you are interested, you can have a look. If you don't want, it's up to you. Once again, it's for you. It's not for me. I hope you enjoyed this course. It was a bit short. I tried to show you that we can do many nice things. I hope you get some tips for your future, for your projects. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. You have in my email. And I wish you good luck for the rest of your life. Exactly, for your life.
I wish we'd meet again.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Professor,
Thank you.
Professor.
Thank you.
I don't know why, but I was unable to make this because if I switch it off, like the
Over?
Centroid, California, it's not appearing here. I don't know why.
In fact, yeah, California. In fact, you didn't created any objects because it's empty right now. So if you want to create, so just click, if you click to make it visible,
Mhm.
and then you can create a point. So click here, yeah, and
Okay.
then point.
Okay, we have to do it by ourselves. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Bye.
Great. Okay.
Au revoir, monsieur. Merci.
Yes. You mean so in Nantes or in France? Okay, okay. So if you mean a dedicated master on GIS?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, there is few, but there is for example one which is the one I met for example which is in Rennes. Maybe you can send me an email, and I will give you some resources. Maybe it can be yeah.
She also wants like to come here, but also look for maybe a fellowship or something, a course that
Uh-huh.
can help because she was trying to look, but it's a very expensive time for her.
Yes.
So I was telling her maybe you can go by research.
Yeah, it really depends, but yeah, you can ask me